Why does other people's financial success disturb you? You may genuinely want others to succeed. Yet when someone makes a big profit, posts a winning trade, or talks about doubling their portfolio, something uncomfortable can arise. Irritation, envy, self-doubt, urgency to act. This reaction is deeply human and deeply researched. Here's the psychological breakdown. 1. Social comparison is automatic. According to social psychologist Leon Festinger and his social comparison theory, humans evaluate themselves by comparing to others. When someone earns more, grows wealth faster, or times the market successfully, it triggers. Am I behind? Am I less capable? Did I miss something? Financial success becomes a status signal. And status comparison is neurologically powerful. 2. Relative deprivation feels like loss. Even if your portfolio is growing, someone else's higher return can feel like a loss. This is called relative deprivation, the perception that you are worse off compared to others, even if objectively you're improving. Research by Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky shows that humans are highly sensitive to losses. The key insight: the brain often interprets someone else gained more as I lost opportunity. Opportunity cost becomes emotional loss. 3. Envy threatens identity. If you see yourself as smart, rational, financially disciplined, someone else's sudden success may threaten that identity. Instead of thinking, they did well, your mind may think, what does this say about me? When outcomes are identity-linked, emotions intensify. Envy is often less about money and more about perceived competence. 4. Status is zero-sum in the mind. In many evolutionary contexts, status was limited. More status for one individual often meant less for another. While wealth creation in markets is not strictly zero-sum in the long run, the brain still interprets gains through a competitive lens. Someone's win can unconsciously feel like a ranking shift, a hierarchy adjustment, a threat to relative standing. This activates stress responses similar to competitive environments. 5. Highlight reels distort reality. People rarely share their drawdowns, their losses, their emotional stress, their risk exposure. They share wins. Exposure to constant success stories creates distorted baselines. This leads to unrealistic expectations, impatience, risk escalation, strategy switching. You're comparing your full reality to someone else's highlight moment. 6. Dopamine and missed opportunity. Markets are tied to reward prediction systems in the brain. When you see someone profit from something you didn't buy, your brain registers missed reward. Dopamine response drops. Regret activates. This can trigger impulsive behavior, chasing the same asset, increasing risk, abandoning your plan. The discomfort isn't just emotional, it's neurochemical. 7. Scarcity mindset amplifies the reaction. If you believe opportunities are rare, I must catch the next big move, there's not enough upside for everyone, then someone else's gain feels like reduced future opportunity for you. In contrast, abundance framing reduces envy. Markets generate continuous opportunities over decades. 8. Short-term thinking magnifies comparison. In long-term investing, variance is normal. In short-term thinking, every win looks decisive. When your time horizon shrinks, their 3-month gain feels huge. Your 10-year plan feels slow. But zoom out. Short-term outperformance rarely predicts long-term dominance. As argued by Burton Malkiel in A Random Walk Down Wall Street, short-term movements are largely unpredictable. Many apparent genius moves are randomness plus timing. 9. Ego and fairness bias. Humans have a strong fairness instinct. When someone gains quickly, especially with risk, speculation, or luck, it can feel unfair. You may think, I worked harder. I was more disciplined. I was more cautious. The discomfort often reflects a fairness narrative, not actual injustice. 10. Comparison creates urgency, and urgency creates mistakes. Emotional comparison often leads to FOMO, fear of missing out, strategy abandonment, Overtrading. Concentrated bets. Ironically, reacting to others' gains often damages long-term results. Research in behavioral finance consistently shows that excessive trading reduces average investor returns. Comparison increases activity. Activity increases error. The deeper truth. Other people's financial success disturbs you when you tie money to identity. You measure worth relatively. You focus on short-term variance. You believe opportunity is scarce. You internalize randomness as skill. The discomfort is not about their gain. It's about what the gain appears to say about you. A more stable mental framework. Instead of asking, "Why didn't I make that?" ask, "Does this change my long-term process?" Shift from relative performance personal plan. Ego comparison probability thinking. Urgency time horizon. Wealth building is not a race against others. It's a long-term alignment between behavior and strategy.